Welcome to Dukascopy TV with me, Alex Isat. The Bank of Japan released its August meeting minutes, saying that the world's third largest economy continued to recover moderately. Monetary policy makers said that the price target is set based on CPI for all items, while they emphasized on the importance of it monitoring economic developments behind price data. The final reading of Japan's gross domestic product showed the economy shrank 1.8% in the second quarter of 2014 compared to the previous contraction by 1.7%, and the reading met analysts' estimates. To give us an insight into the Japanese economy is Marcel Thielant from Capital Economics. Marcel, the Bank of Japan has said that the economy is slowly recovering. Do you think that it's on the right track?
At the moment, it's a bit hard to say that it's on the right track. So far, the data have been rather disappointing. Obviously, that was to be expected, given that the consumption tax hike had a big impact on spending. In the first quarter, a lot of spending was brought forward, and obviously, this spending was then not available in the second quarter. But even the data for the third quarter that we've seen so far have been pretty weak. And we've downgraded our forecast for this year, but we still think that the economy will start to recover in the third quarter in the second half of this year.
Exports are taking a dive as businesses are pulling out of Japan. Can the government do anything to keep Japanese business in Japan?
We think they can. We also think that there's been a lot of speculation lately about this whole hollowing out, which basically means that Japanese firms are shifting production capacity abroad. But actually, we think that this has been a bit overestimated, because a lot of the FDI that's taken place is actually in the service sector, and manufacturing FDI has not accelerated much in recent years. And some of the measures that the government has taken lately should encourage firms to invest again in Japan, in particular the corporate tax cut. The corporate tax rates are considered the most problematic factor by Japanese firms to doing business in Japan. So reducing the tax rate should go some way in increasing the attractiveness of Japan as a production base.
Finally, is the Bank of Japan's aggressive monetary easing policy likely to end in 2015?
Well, so far the bank hasn't made any suggestions, but we think they will have to step up the pace of easing at some point. One reason is simply that the recovery, again, is relatively weak, weaker certainly than the Bank of Japan has expected. And we also don't share the central bank's optimism on inflation. We think that a lot of the increase in inflation over the past year was due to the weak yen, but this effect is now fizzling out. And we think that the pace of purchases will probably have to be stepped up at some point. We think this might perhaps happen in next April, where we think that the pace could be increased from the current 60 to 70 trillion to maybe 90 trillion. But we wouldn't exclude an announcement in January already if the recovery in the second half of the year disappoints.
Thank you for your time, Marcel. Keep watching Dukascopy TV for more news on the Japanese economy and the market as a whole. Until then, goodbye.